Hey everyone, this is DW's Darius and welcome to another day in the fish room. So recently Night Crew, the company, they sent me a product to try out, and it is this thing right here. Now this is a timer, and if you read the top it says wake up your fish the natural way, if my camera will focus. But yeah, wake up your fish the natural way, because this thing is able to do sunrise and sunset effect. So we're going to try this out on my aquarium and see how it looks. Okay everyone, so what you just saw was a quick example of the sunrise and sunset effects on this timer. So basically I set the timer on the aquarium for 1 hour just so that I can record the entire process, and it slowly raised the lights on, changing the intensity over the course of the hour until the lights were off. I'm not sure how well you were able to see it on camera. I know there was a difference in person versus on camera, but you get the idea of what this thing can do. Now for the rest of the video I'm going to be showing you guys how to work it, because this timer is a little bit old-fashioned and Night Crew did tell me that some of the people just couldn't figure it out. So for the remainder of the video I will be giving you guys a breakdown of how to work this timer to get your sunrise, sunset, and everything else you need to know about this timer. So first and foremost we have the box. Straight out of the box, one of the first equipment that we see is the timer itself. Connected to the timer is one of the adapters, and then there also comes 2 more adapters, and lastly there comes a little strip for instructions. Now the adapters are, you have a 2.1 millimeter female that adapts to a 2.1 millimeter female, which is going to be this one. You can see both the female ends. You have a 2.5 millimeter female that adapts to 2.1 millimeter female, and that is going to be this one, which is already on the timer. This usually comes, so far I had 3 of these unboxed and they all already came adapted to the timer. I guess this is the one that's most used. And then lastly you have a 2.1 millimeter female that adapts to a 2.5 millimeter male, which is this one right here. So I'm going to be attaching mine to my Night Crew Classic. This is a 48 inch, and so this is the piece that would normally go in and then plug to outlet. You just simply take the timer and put it between. So we have right here the female to the male, metal inside of the light itself. Oops, and then you plug this into your power supply. And you can see it's now blinking. So now that it's attached, all your power supply is now going to work through this. This right here has no more power. This one powers on, powers off. So initially my first thoughts when I saw this was that it was pretty old-fashioned. So here we have this timer. It's able to do several different functions, but we only have 4 different buttons and we only have a screen that is able to display numbers. So at first it was a little bit confusing. It took me a couple of minutes, but after 10 minutes I was pretty confident, and here I am showing you guys how to do it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set the time. So to do that, you come over to this button right here, which is the settings, and you hold it down. They say for 3 seconds. And you will see the hours start to blink. This isn't military time, so all the AM times will stay on the regular hour, but if you're trying to get to PM hours, all you have to do is add 12 to what you see on your regular clock. So I am doing this in the morning, and right now it is, that's 9:29, so we're going to set the hour to, if you wait too long you got to redo the set thing. So I'm going to set the hour to 9, and once you have it at 9, you press set again, and it takes you 2 minutes. Now I'm pretty sure right now it should be 9:30, so I'm just going to go straight, set it straight to 9:30. And press set again, and so far you already have your time set. So once again, this is military time, so let's say it was 9:30 PM. All you have to do is add 12, so that would bring us to 21:30. So with this light, you have 2 main timer settings. You have your standard timer that just turns the light on and off simply, and then you have your sunrise and sunset effect, which allows it to come on slowly. You can even change the intensity throughout the day to replicate the sun, and you can have a slow go off. First, I'm gonna give you guys a quick look at the regular on and off timer. Before I get into that, I want to show you guys how to adjust the light intensity. This is in case you have just the regular on and off, if you maybe have too much algae, or you just want to dull the light compared to the power of this, compared to the original power of the light itself. All you have to do is first turn it on and hold the power button for 3 seconds. And this is the intensity. You see L100, that's 100%. Let me see if I can give you guys a look at the brightness. So as I go down, this lowers the intensity of the light. I'm not sure how well you can notice it on the screen, but it is becoming duller. You should be able to notice it now. So right here we're at 22% of the original power of this light. I'll focus in better for you guys. And then we're going to come back up. And you should be able to notice the brightening. I know I can notice it very well in person, and I'm not sure how well it looks on screen. But yeah, that's the intensity. So just in case like you're having too much algae or you just want lower lights, if you have the regular timer mode, this is how you would adjust it. Okay everyone, so now I want to give you guys a look at how to set the timer. This is your regular timer without the sunrise effect. Just know that when you have this timer on, you are not able to use the sunrise effect. And same thing with the sunrise effect. If you have that timer on, you cannot use this standard simply on and off timer, which is pretty common sense. And if you ever change your mind about which one you want to use, there is a way to reset it, which I will show you later on. But let me give you guys a quick look at the simple on and off timer without sunrise. So to put on, simply hold on for 3 seconds. The off shows that it's not on, so you press power to set it and choose the hour. So I'm going to give you guys a quick example, and I'm going to set it at 11 o'clock and press set. Minutes, you could adjust it to whatever minute you want, but I'm going to leave it at 11 o'clock and press set again. And that's on. So now I'm going to set it for off time, hold off for 3 seconds, press power to activate it, and you're going to choose your time. And once again, this is just for an example, so I'm only going to allow it to be for 1 hour. So my on time was 11, so my off time is going to be 12. I'm going to press set. Same thing with the minutes. I want it to be 12 o'clock exactly. Set again, and now my timer is set for 11 to 12. So that right there was the simple on and off timer. It will come on at 11 with no fancy adjustments. It will go off at 12 with no fancy adjustments. Just click on, click off, simply put. That one is pretty easy, but now I want to give you guys the one that was a little bit more complicated, and this is the sunrise and sunset effect. So first, before I get into that, once again, as I told you guys, you cannot have both, so we're going to have to reset it, and to reset it, you simply just hold power and settings, and this will reset the memory, as you can see right there. Okay everyone, so next I want to give you guys a look at the sunrise and sunset effect. So this one is the most complicated just because there are a couple of steps necessary, but once again it took me 10 minutes and now here I am showing you guys. So right here's a little chart that I made just to help you understand what's going on. So with this sunrise and sunset effect, you have 6 different settings that you have to go through. So you have L1 all the way to L off, L1 being the time that the light comes on, L off obviously being the time that the light goes off, and then from 2 to 5, these are all you can have these on or off whether you like, but the purpose of these is to replicate the sun. So a quick example, if we look at the pond runs on natural sunlight, and there's no part of the pond that gets 100% light all day. The pond, of course the earth rotates around the sun, so because of that there's different shades and shadows, and you know all that. So because of that, there's no part of the pond that gets 100% light. You have 50%, 100%, and then later on throughout the day it starts going back down, and that's the purpose of these functions. So you can have your light come on, let's say, so for this example I'm going to be working from 11 to 12 just so that I can record the process on camera. So the on time is going to be 11 o'clock a.m. The off time is going to be 12 o'clock a.m. and all these are just to control the light intensity. So let's say at L1 we're going to have it come on at 10%, at L off, and let's just keep going down the road. So L2 could be anytime we want, and we could bump the intensity up. So I'm going to bump it up to 30% by, let's say, 11:10. So in 10 minutes the light goes from 10% to 30%. Then at L3 we're going to bump it all the way up to 70%. And let's do that another 10 minutes, so that's going to be 11:20. L4 we can bump it up to 100%, and let's say that's going to be 11:30. L5 could be back to 50% because this is right before it goes off, and we're going to let that extend all the way to 11:50. So once again, the intensity is all depending on what you want. Also the time, you can choose any time you want for different intensities, just your way of replicating the sun, or just doing it however you please. Now this is going to be just for an hour, so that's why I have it so short, but this is just so that you can actually see the different adjustments on camera. Okay, so now we're going to do it on the timer. So to start off, you can hold on and off at the same time, and this is going to lead you to the settings. So you see L1 and it's blinking off because it's not on, so you're going to press power, going to press set for 11 o'clock, yes, yes, L10 at 10%, and set again. So next it comes to L2. I'm going to go to power to operate it, set, and this is going to be at 11 o'clock again. So you press set to choose the hour, and then I want it to be 10 minutes, and so we're going to go to 10, and the intensity I want to be, press power to work with the intensity, and you can bring it down to 30%. And there we have L2. So next comes L3. So as I showed you on the paper, you press power to operate it, set. It's going to still be an 11th hour. Oops, going the wrong way. Set. And this is going to be at 11:30, I said. Set again, and I want the percentage to be at, what time did I say? I'm looking at my paper. At 11:30 I want it to be at 100%, so we're going to go back up to 100%. Wait, was it 100%? No, it was 70%. So we're going to go down to 70%. Set. L4, operate plus power, set it, still and 11th hour, because this is just for an example. Set the minutes is going to be this time 11. I think my 11. I think I did it wrong. Oh. 11:30. And then we're at L. And this is a percentage. Now this one is going to go to 100%. I may have mixed up the hours. I'm gonna have to go and check again, because I think I have two 11:30s. But press set. Now we have L5. Press power to L5. That's why it's good to write it down in case you forget. But for L5, we're gonna work with same hour 11. Set 11:50. And the intensity is going to be at 50%. Set L off, the time that you want it to go off. Set, and once again 12 o'clock. And set. And that right there is the sunrise and sunset effect. Now I did think I made a mistake when it came to the time. I want to go based on this paper. So to check it, I'm going to hold these two again. L1, 11 o'clock. Just press settings and it allows you to go through everything. L2, 10, 30%. L3. You see my minutes is wrong with L3. I'm going to go to 20% for L3. I mean 11:20 for L3. Set 70% L4 at 11:30 as I said. L100 at 5. Okay, and everything else seems okay. And there we have the sunrise and sunset effect. Okay everyone, so once again, this 1 hour setting is just for an example. I want to be able to record the entire process. A little bit later on, I will be showing you guys the settings that I'm going to choose for my Planet tank for long term. But yeah, now I'm going to go and hook it up to the tank. So before I do that, I will say that the greatest disadvantage about this timer is that if you plug it out, the time will go off. The time, you have to reset the time. Now, the time is probably one of the easiest things to set. However, if the time is not set, that means this function, the on and off function won't work because there's no time to go based on. So that's the greatest disadvantage. If there's ever a power outage or something like that, that means my lights won't come on unless I go and set the time. Once again, the time is easy to set. However, if I'm not home for a week and power goes out, that means I won't have lights on my tank for a week. So that's definitely the greatest disadvantage. Now I'm going to set it for the settings that I want for my Planet tank. So we're going to start back up here. Now once again, the disadvantage of this thing is that every time you plug it out, it will reset the time. So I'm just going to go and reset the whole system. So I'm going to hold these two. You see everything is blinking. So the first thing we're going to set is time. And we're going to hold set. And the hours is going to come in right now. Exactly, it's 11:35. Remember, when I had the timer on, I changed it when I was downstairs just so it could go faster. But the actual time right now is 11:35. So we're going to set that. $11:35. So now we have the time set. Now before you put your time in, I do recommend that you write it down. I think it's just a little bit more easier, helps you remember what you actually want. So once again, this light is going to my Planet tank. Because of that, the plants need a lot of light. So the majority of the time is going to be 100%, but I would like a slow adjust to that 100%, and also towards the end when the light is about to go off, I wouldn't mind allowing the light to go down a little bit. So I'm going to be running the light from L1. The starting time is going to be at 11 o'clock, and L off, I put L6, but it's supposed to be L off. It's going to be 8 o'clock p.m. That's when it's going to go off, which, because this is military time, it's going to say 20 o'clock, I guess. But yeah, so we have L1 at 11 o'clock, 10%. After that, for L2, I want it to go up to 30% in 10 minutes. After another 10 minutes, I want it to go up 50% for L3. Then after 20 minutes, I want it to go up to 100%. It's going to stay 100% all the way to 1900, which is going to be 7 o'clock, where it will drop back down to 50%. This is going to be a little bit of an adjustment for the fish as the lights prepare to go down. And then at L off, it's going to be 2000, also known as 8 o'clock p.m. and it's going to go off. And if you notice from the video, even at L off, it doesn't just completely go off. It's still another like 5 minutes slowly adjusting off. So even though I have it set for 2000, it's probably going to go off at 20. I'm going to say 8. It's going to probably go off at 8:05 because of the slow delay. So now that I have it written down, I know what I want. I'm going to now work on programming it. So I already reset it, but just so you can remember how to reset it, you simply hold power and settings, and you can see everything is reset. So now we're going to hold on and off for the sunrise motion. You see it says off, so we're going to press power to operate it. I'm going to set L1 to 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock at 10%. Setting set. Now we're at L2. Power to operate set. And this is still going to be an 11th hour because I just want to slow adjust on. I want it to be just a slow sunrise effect. I don't really care too much about the time period throughout the day adjusting, because this is a planting tank, and I guess in the wild plants will get a lot of sunlight. So I'm going to go to 20%, set L3, operate. I'm going to go to set. This is still in the 11th hour, and right now we have to go to 11:20. And this is why it's good to write it down, because I was just forgetting. I had to take a quick look at my paper to remember. So 11:20, we're going to go for, how much did I have? 50%. Set. L4, still in the 11th hour, and L4 at 11:40 will go up to 100%. Oops, wrong way. So we're going to bring it all the way up to 100%. Set L5, we'll program that. And this is going to be when the light is about to turn off, so we're going to put it at 19, which is 7 o'clock. And it's going to stay the same, and we're going to bring it to 50%. And lastly, L off, we're going to set it at 2000. Set. And that's it. So yeah, that's been a look at the Night Crew timer. Once again, it works for all of Night Crew lights. It also works for other brands that have the same adapters, and nowadays most LEDs have these adapters, so you can use it on just about any LED, and it costs about $10 on Amazon. I do like the sunrise and sunset effect. It really just allows your fish to slowly adjust to the light. If you watch some of my other videos, I did have problems where I turned the light on right away and my fish like panicked and caught heart attacks or just had bad reactions to immediate light. So this is a good way to help out your fish adjust to the light. However, the main downside is that when I plug this out, I will lose the time, and unless I put the time back in, all the features won't work. So the light won't come back on until I put the time in. So that's the major downside. Other than that, not a bad buy. And yeah, that's just a quick review. So as always, any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching. Now, while I was recording this light coming on and off, my 350 gallon aquarium, which has the same timer, was coming on. So I guess I'll finish off this video with a look at that tank waking up.